Hello, and welcome to a quick demo of HSB in Revit. I would point out a little caveat here to start with, in that this functionality is brand new. It didn't even exist a couple of weeks ago, so new both to me and to the software itself is still in development. So this is far from a seamless process right now, but hopefully you'll at least see where we're going and understand the basic workflow as it stands today. Okay, so I'm going to open up one of your sample files here. And of course, missing references, no big deal. Now, first thing I noticed is that in this drawing, the walls are basically one large group, so I can't access the instances inside of that until I ungroup them. So do that real quick. And now I've got access to individual walls instead of just the entire, essentially, what would be a block in AutoCAD. I have installed HSB for Revit. As you can see here, it gives me a new ribbon tab. And the first thing I'll do is, just like in AutoCAD, I want to make sure that my stick frame folder is correct, which this is on this system what I'm trying to use. So here's my ASC steel stick frame folder. Okay, so that's good. Now then, the next thing to do is there does exist a possibility of editing these individually, but far and away the easier thing to do is to set up a rule to apply framing styles. So to do that, I'm going to come in here, obviously, for that where you saw that command, apply framing styles. The part rule I haven't explored yet, to be truth, but what we're interested right now in is walls. So I'm going to add a new one. And then basically you're going down this list to define which Revit wall and what layer of that wall family you want to assign some HSB framing style to. So there's my first option, and all my dialogues pop out of my recording area, of course. And these are the walls we're going to be interested in. These are most of the interior partitions. I need to tell it which portion of that wall is actually framing. And element type stick frame correct. I can do this per level if I want. I'm just going to say apply to all levels. So you can actually set up different rules for different levels if that comes to be useful. And finally, of course, we'll select the wall type. Here's all wall types defined in my stick frame folder. And OK. And once that's all set up, I can say, OK, I'm going to go ahead and apply some default opening framing as well. Notice that I could save this out to a catalog if I wanted to, so that you can then, of course, have a set of rules which you can use in different models and not have to go through this every time. So this is just your initial setup. So I'm going to say OK. I'm going to, I believe, get a slight error here. Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. I will send this in and see what the deal is. But you can see it has correctly selected all those interior partitions. And so I'm just going to ungroup them. Boom. And now, if I come and look at one of these instances of this wall family, you can see that I have an ITW framing style applied to it. Once I've got that going on, the process to get this out to AutoCAD is export to model map. So I'll select that. There's a bunch of options here. At this point in time, I recommend you select objects and not select all objects in active view unless you've set up a specific view that only has walls with HSB information. I'm getting some errors when I try and export walls that don't have framing styles applied to them. So, and I'm also using this option. I haven't explored all of these yet, but this is doing what we want basically. This is where I'm writing out to. So I'll say OK, and then I'm going to select a few of these walls. I think probably what you'd want to do is set up a view that has your export things isolated, and it might be a little faster at that point. But with this going on, I can say all these guys and click Finish. And that has created my model map file. In here, you can see is this HMM file, which you can't see my clock, but 9:23 is the correct time, so that's been exported. Now I can go into a drawing. And this is an empty drawing, which I have pointed at that same stick frame folder. Resize a little bit here. So the HSB command to access that model map is, should get recognized here in a second, HSB_import model map. Like that. Here's this file that we just created. Boom, throws all those walls in. We have the correct type, and these, with a little bit of luck, do indeed generate correctly. So again, that's the workflow. That's how things are intended to work. It is early days, and this is beta software, so you can anticipate a little bit of difficulty getting everything to work smoothly, but certainly better than exporting simple geometry and having to redraw everything. That is also an option, though. I'm assuming you know how to do that, so I'm not going to demonstrate that, but easy enough to use Revit commands to export the walls as DWG and then open that in AutoCAD and go through and apply framing rules in AutoCAD, because remember, you can also do that with the ADT to HSB update by associating some ACA styles with particular HSB wall types. Okay, hope that's enough to get you started. You can download the Revit plugin from the registered products portion of the website, just like you would any other HSB product. And good luck. Let me know if you need something more, and happy drafting.